My name is Harold Hirshman. I'm a 1969 graduate of the University of Chicago Law School. The only legal job I've ever had is at what used to be called Sun & Shine, and which is now S&R Denton. And I'm a partner here and have been a partner since '75, I think.
And my name is Camille Bennett. I'm also a graduate of the University of Chicago Law School in 1994. And this has also been the only legal job I've ever had. I'm counsel here, and I work mostly with Harold, actually.
I nominated Harold Hirshman and Camille Bennett for their work, particularly in the Montel Johnson case.
We took on the representation of Montel Johnson, essentially to help his mother help Montel go home and die.
He was convicted of a fairly heinous murder. While he was in the jail waiting for trial in the murder, he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
It had developed to the advanced progressive stage, at which point you really can't treat it anymore. You simply have to rely on, nursing care and care with the activities of daily life.
He was essentially a quadriplegic, so all of his life functions had to be provided. And that's where the problem really arose.
And had, by the time they actually got into court, developed what are known as stage 4 bed sores, meaning that the bed sores had gone all the way through and infected his bone. And at that point, death is fairly certain unless you get some prompt treatment.
He was transferred to the local hospital. And unfortunately, it turned out that our worst fears were realized. He was transferred there because they were afraid he had sepsis. He did have terrible bed sores. He was dehydrated, and he weighed about 90 pounds at that point.
Once they began to get a little bit of medical care for him, Harold and Camille then moved on and tried to get a clemency petition together and get the governor to then vacate his sentence altogether.
What seemed obvious to me is that his mother wanted to care for him, and why should the system spend what turned out to be a great deal of money on his care when they really couldn't deliver it? And wouldn't it be the simplest thing to commute his sentence and let his mother take him home?
That was eventually successful. It then turned out that there had been an odd deal made back when Montel was originally charged between the governors of Illinois and the governor of California. He also had a murder charge pending in California.
California had actually sent him to Illinois because Illinois had the death penalty. So now at this point, when he was going to go home to die at home, California said, no, we want him back.
So we began to talk to the California prison system and say, well, now look, your system is under receivership. You can't give care to the people you got. Why do you want an extremely sick guy? Just let him be. Well, all we could think of was to sue California.
But then got put into the mediation program there. And so with a Ninth Circuit mediator, we started discussing how we could resolve this sort of impossible situation involving someone that we couldn't really believe California wanted to take him back.
So ultimately we made a deal.
Yeah.
Montel gave up his right to go back to California, and California said that they didn't want him anymore. And so in August of 2011, he came home, and we got a chance to go see him. We had never seen him in prison, but we did see him when he got home. So that was great.
Harold and Camille are especially worthy of this recognition because they do great work. The bottom line is they do outstanding work for people who really need their help. I mean, Montel Johnson, is this incapacitated prison inmate who wants to go home to die. He really needs their help.
Anybody who hears this story thinks it's an insane thing, and why didn't somebody do something about it? But the only people in this society who can do something about it are lawyers. And it's really great to see that there are lawyers who understand that and are willing to step up and do it.
We are, to a small extent, public servants, and this is a way to fulfill our responsibility to make our society more law-abiding, juster, and fairer. For me, at least, it is a remarkable gift to have the tools to be able to help.
I don't think I've ever met a lawyer who didn't feel that, they wanted to, reach out and provide legal services beyond, the client base that could afford them. And it's just, I think it's a natural impulse of lawyers to want to do that.